All right. So hello and welcome to Sound Mind, Sound Body. I'm Izzy Naud. I'm a holistic health and performance coach for the electronic music industry. I am a Chinese martial art practitioner and master. I'm a Tai Chi master and also a Qi Gong master facilitator. And I have education in Chinese medicine through shiatsu massage and also Qi Gong. And I have also education in nutrition based on the 5 elements of Chinese medicine. And I have been working in the electronic music industry for over 15 years. The first 10 years, I was doing marketing, communications, events organization until I was starting an artist management agency, which led me to a burnout. And so that was quite a challenge and a hard episode in my life. And I managed to recover. Literally, Tai Chi, Qigong, and Chinese medicine saved my life. And after COVID, I decided to help my fellow electronic music professionals and artists, colleagues, to prevent burnout and take care of their health and lead a more healthy lifestyle. And so the Sound Mind, Sound Body sessions have been going on for, this is a 4th year now. And initially I was hosting some sessions showing some tips and practices about health and wellness for electronic music artists and professionals. And then it also resulted in a platform where I could invite my peers, other health coaches, therapists who work for the music industry. And today I'm the one presenting. At the next session in June, we have Denise Dervish, who's a therapist for the music industry. And in July, we have Eliana Dumper, who is here. Thank you for being here, who will also do a presentation. Eliana is a nutritionist specialized on touring. And I look forward to that conversation for sure. And last month, we had Saskia, who's also here, who was presenting about the challenges and the pressure in the electronic music scene. So today we are talking about summer, the fire energy in Chinese medicine. We are also going to talk about nervous system regulation and how to regulate our energies if we need to boost ourselves or if we need to calm ourselves. So depending on what we need.
No.
Okay, so maybe the sound is gonna be different now because maybe the microphone discharge. Oops, apologize for the technical issues. So in Chinese medicine, there are 2 main theories. One is the yin and the yang, and the other one is the 5 element or energy movements. So these 5 elements are the metal and earth, wood, fire, and water. So we have these 5. And in the summer, the element that is connected to the summer season is the fire. Fire is related with the heart as the organ, and the other organ is the short intestine. And the emotion is the joy. The color is red. And when the heart and the fire energy is balanced, we experience joy and expansion, and we're like all in activity, and the energy is going upward. It's the maximum yang. And if we go too much into the yang, we have the risk of experiencing anxiety, burnout. We can have some heart issues as well. So it is important to take care of our health and to not be too stimulated. So for example, we want to watch what we are eating. We want foods that are cooling us down, such as salads and vegetables like cucumber, the fruits like watermelon, and everything that's rich in water and liquid, so that it cools the body down. And also we want to avoid greasy foods and spicy food, because the spicy also stimulates the heart. So we want to watch out for that during the summer season. And activities we want to do is to do a lot of exercise, because we have a lot of energy, and so like go walking, running, swimming, like every sports inside the water are recommended for sure. And also being in nature as much as we can, so that it also can calm us down and help us regulate the nervous system, which we'll talk about later. And also we want to not to be hydrated. This is something to keep in mind, because we are active, and mostly if you're on tour, or if you work on festivals, you might be like super busy and active, and having a lot of social life, and connecting with people. And we need to remind ourselves that we need to drink. And so also always have a bottle of water with you, so you sip on your water regularly. And we need to also, as much as in the summer season, we want to wake up early in the morning and go to bed late. So we enjoy the long days of summer. So we're in summer in the northern hemisphere. I know, Eliana, for you it's winter. But so that we have, I do the northern hemisphere, because that's where I live. And we want to also keep in mind that we need to take some rest and take some pauses on a regular basis, because as much as we have a lot of energy, that we're all pumped up and super excited for all the activities going on, and the events, and the touring, and the work on festival season, then it is also important to know when to take some breaks and to rest. So that is something to keep in mind. Summer is an excellent moment to have a lot of social life. This is a moment to see our friends and our families and loved ones, and to travel. Some people can also take some summer vacation, and this is a good moment to catch up with people we haven't seen for a long time. And so it's really recommended to nurture the heart, to spend a lot of time with loved ones, and also making new friends and having a lot of activities. And lastly, we want to be mindful of having the up times and the down times. So it's all about having balance. And for that, regarding downtime, it can be like reading a book, resting in the park or on the beach, or spending some time just doing creative activities that are not related to music. That is something to keep in mind also, so that we can have a briefer. Because as we work in the music industry, we're always in the music, and sometimes it's good to disconnect and do another activity. So I'm happy that because Friday I'm going to a workshop. It's gonna be about drawing, and so that allows me to be doing something else than just being into the music, consuming music, experiencing music, and I love that. So yeah, if you want to share in the chat if you have any other creative outlets outside of music, I'd love to learn more about you. Feel free to share. I love writing, but I would like to begin something new. Okay, I love that. Anyone else? Junk journaling. Ooh, that's a good one. I also do gratitude journaling. I took on this habit since the lockdown of back in 2020. And initially, I was writing 3 things I was grateful for each day before I was going to bed. And then it transformed into like, okay, I'll write everything I'm grateful for. And sometimes it can be a whole page. Once we start, we always find new things to be grateful for. Anyone else wants to share? Yes? Okay, I'll carry on. So we're going to talk about the nervous system. Nervous system regulation is the ability of the body to smoothly transition between states of arousal and relaxation, activating energy when you need to perform and returning to a calm restorative baseline when the demand passes. So this is something that is in the music industry. It's very demanding because we can find ourselves being very stimulated when so for artists before they go on stage and during the time that they are performing, for people working in the industry behind the scene or near the artist, it's also like being on and present and preparing, and some people they might be answering phone calls all day long or answering emails, so it's like quite active and stimulating. And so the nervous system, there's the autonomic nervous system called ANS, and that is the control center for your body's unconscious functions like the heart rate and the digestion and the breathing. So the autonomic nervous system has 2 primary branches. The sympathetic, that is the fight or flight system, and the parasympathetic, that is also called the rest and digest. And so the sympathetic mobilizes the energy. So we get into active state. For example, when we are going to perform as an artist on stage, or if we need to prepare a presentation and give us a talk, or have an important conversation or negotiation that is also demanding our system to be ready and asking for energy. And so the way it impacts our body, it increases our heart rate, our pupils gets dilated, and we get ready for the action. On the other side, the parasympathetic system helps us conserve energy. It slows the heart rate and promotes digestion and healing. So, what happens when there's too much stimulus? That's when there's a dysregulation. So it can be when the body gets stuck in a state of high alert or also a deep shutdown. So that means that we are unable to return to the baseline long after that we had a stressor that has passed. So basically, the way it works is like there's a stimulus, a stressor, and we go in arousal state, and then we go back down to the baseline. And when we are stressed too much, we just can stay up there at the arousal state. Otherwise, we can be in this mode that is called freeze. And that is when we are below and we cannot react. And recently there's been this theory called polyvagal theory by Dr. Stephen Porges. And that theory highlights the role of the vagus nerve, which is the longest cranial nerve that goes through the whole body and that connects the brain and the heart to the heart and the lung and the digestive tract. So that polyvagal theory states that there are three distinct physiological states. One that is the ventral vagal, meaning that is when we are safe and social. This is the optimal state. The second one is a sympathetic, meaning the mobilized state, fight or flight. And then the third one is a dorsal vagal, which is also the immobilized or freeze shutdown state. And what happens is that when our nervous system is stimulated, we can have three situations. Ideally, the optimal zone, which is called window of tolerance. That's when we are reacting to what's going on, but also maintaining the safe space. And then we have the hyperarousal when it's too high. So, for example, the sympathetic is overdrive, and that's when we experience anxiety and racing thoughts, also some panic and instability, and also muscle tensions, and we can have also a fast heart rate. That is for the hyperarousal, when we feel like, oh, it's like too much, and so it's like the high state. And then there's a hypoarousal, which is low, and when it's too low, and this is when we get into dorsal vagal shutdown. And symptoms can be brain fog, exhaustion, emotional numbness, and dissociation, feeling stuck or frozen. So what does that imply? There has been recently, we talk about somatics and somatic mapping. That means to feel our body and to understand how we are feeling. So we can ask ourselves, what does hyperarousal feels like for me? For example, do I feel a tight chest? Do I feel a shallow breathing? Like, like, do I feel like I have clenched jaw? So these are physical situations that can put us in a direction. What does hypoarousal means for us? Is it having heavy limbs? Is it having a sinking feeling on the stomach, like feeling heavy? Is it a shallow sensation, a hollow sensation in the throat, like we're like stuck? What does safety feel like? Is it like, oh, we have a relaxed belly and shoulders are dropped, we have a deep breathing? So this is a way to evaluate, to do a self-assessment, to know how each person feels and what we are in hyperarousal. So we want to bring the anxious nervous system back to a calm baseline. And the upregulation on the other side is gently stimulating hypoarousal. And when we're lethargic or frozen, then we want to stimulate the nervous system to have some more energy. I have examples of exercises, so I'm curious if you ever tried some of those. Um, Down regulating exercises for anxiety and hyperarousal. The physiological sigh. This is when we do 2 inhales through the nose, and 1 long slow exhale through the mouth. So, okay. Then there is cold exposure. So people who do the ice bath, the Wim Hof method, that is also a down-regulating exercise. Then there is a box breathing, that's 4x4. So we inhale for 4 seconds, we hold for 4 seconds, we exhale for 4 seconds, and we hold on empty for 4 seconds. That's a box breathing. And then there is the progressive muscle relaxation. So for example, we're gonna like tense like the arm and then let it relax. So these are down-regulating exercises. And up-regulating exercises are when we have brain fog or fatigue or shutdown, vocalization, for example, humming, chanting, or singing. These frequencies, these vibration, they help us upregulate and get some energy. Gentle movement, going out walking or stretching, helps us, brings more energy in the body. And then sensory engagement. For example, we want to try crunching on ice and smell strong essential oil that really directly wakes us up. And or we want to listen to an upbeat song that also puts some energy in our body. And then the last one is tapping, EFT, emotion freedom techniques, which are doing some small tapping on acupuncture points, and this regulates also the nervous system. And now I want to invite you for the practice with Qi Gong and Tai Chi. And so if you can stand up, we will do the 3 exercises. The first one is a Qi Gong Qi belt. And so we start with both feet separated the width of the hips. We bend slightly the knees and the tailbone drops. The shoulders are relaxed, and we imagine that we have a string coming up from the middle of our head, connecting us to the sky. And we align the spine. And here we're going to inhale, and the arms go up to the level of the shoulders. And then we exhale, we bend slightly the knee, and we imagine that we're pushing an imaginary balloon inside the belly. And we repeat. Inhale through the nose, hands go up, and exhale through the mouth, and hands go down. So this one is a down-regulating exercise, and it helps for when we have anxiety. Hands go up, and hands go down. Exhale. We carry on, hands go up, inhale, and hands go down. Exhale. And we repeat, hands go up, inhale, and hands go down. Exhale, we push an imaginary balloon in our stomach. And again, inhale, hands go up, exhale, hands go down. So because the exercise the movement is slow, it puts us in the parasympathetic, in the rest and digest. Two more times, inhale, exhale. Last one, inhale, and exhale. And we gather the energy in the dantian, that is 3 fingers below the navel, and 1 hand on top of the other. You can close the eyes. Okay, and little by little, you open the eyes and relax. I'm curious, how are you feeling? How did this exercise go for you? Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Okay. So the second exercise is related to the summer and the heart and the fire energy, and it's a Qigong exercise extracted from the 5 animal Qigong, which also work with the 5 elements of Chinese medicine. And for the fire element, we work with the monkey and the emotion of joy. And so we will do one little exercise that are going to stimulate our heart and our joy. So here we go. So both feet separated by the width of the hips, and we're bend slightly our knees, and we are relaxing the shoulders, shoulders dropping, and also the spine is straight and extended. Okay, and we are going to take energy from the ground, and we put it up, and we go quickly on our toes, and the hands go below our chin. And then still standing on the toes, we look to the left, and we look to the front, and we look to the right, and we look to the front, and then we go down, whole foot touches the ground, and the hands go back down. We're going to repeat this a few times. Take energy from the ground, and up. Quickly on the toes, with the hands below the chin, and we look to the left, and we look to the middle, we look to the right, and we look to the middle, and we go back, the foot touching the floor. And again, we take energy from the ground, and we go up on our toes with the hands below our chin. We look to the left, we look to the middle, we look to the right, and to the middle, and back down. One last time. Take energy from the earth and go on our toes with the hands below our chin, and we look to the left, we look to the middle, we look to the right, we look to the middle, and down. Woo, and we can shake. Yay! I'm curious, what is the sensation for you with this exercise? So this one would be more up-regulation exercise. Definitely energizing. Thank you, Elena. Amazing. And so now we go through the last exercise, which is a Tai Chi movement. Tai Chi and Qi Gong are brothers, but they're different. Tai Chi is a Chinese martial art, meaning that all the movements we do are used for attack or defense purpose, whereas the Qi Gong can be also martial, but it can be more for the health, and more it comes basically from the Chinese medicine initially. Okay, so the Tai Chi movement that we will do now is also related to the monkey. It's called Repulse the Monkey, and it's one of the movements that we do in my Foundation of Flow online Tai Chi group course, and we started it last week, and that was one of the first movements that we did. So we start, both feet separated, the width of the hips, the shoulders relaxed, the tailbone dropping, the spine is aligned, and we imagine we have a string coming from the head connecting us to the sky. And so we turn the waist, and both hands go up with the palm facing the sky, and we look at the hand that is behind us, and we are going to turn the waist, and at the same time the hand that is behind comes to the front near our ear, and then in the front we touch our wrists and we push on top of the other hand and push in front, and the other hand is going to be at the level of the waist with the palm facing the sky and the elbow hitting behind, as if we had an opponent attacking us from behind, so we hit them behind. And here in the front, we push another opponent. So it goes like this. And then on the other side, both palms facing the sky, arms extended, and the hand behind comes while we turn the waist, comes near the ear, and we push in the front, and the hand that's below comes near the waist, and we hit with the elbow behind. We're doing it again. We extend both hands, both arms, and both hands facing, palm facing the sky, and the hand that's behind comes to the front while we are turning the waist, and the hand is near the ear, and then comes to the front, and we free our wrists in the front and push in the front and hit with the elbow behind. Here you can see the view of how it looks. Okay. And then here, again, both palms facing the sky, and the hand that is behind comes near the ear while we turn the waist, and we free ourselves, pushing to the front and hitting with the elbow behind. Gonna do it one more time on each side, so that's gonna be 2 times. Extend both arms, palm facing the sky, and the hand goes near the ear, and turns the waist. Free our wrists, push in front, and hit with the elbow behind. And turns the waist again, both hands palm facing the sky, and the hand that's behind comes to the front. We turn the waist and free our wrists, push in the front, and hit with our elbow behind. And then we relax. All right. So these are the practices. I'm curious about your experience. How does it feel for you? Nice to practice the mind-body connection. Totally, yes. And so the power of doing Tai Chi is that it's a really mindful practice. We are really in the here and now, and we're connecting with our body, and we disconnect from all the mental activity, all the thoughts, everything that keeps us busy. It's just like while we are doing the Tai Chi, we are in our body. So it's really being present. Yes, absolutely. Super present, focused on the movement. Yes. So if you want to try more of this, you can connect with me on my website, which is izzynowellbeing.com, or my Instagram, which is izzynaud.wellbeing. And I will send the links in the follow-up email. And if you want to know more about burnout, I also have a Beat the Burnout checklist, which you can download. I will send you the link as well. And I will put this in the description of the video for YouTube. And now we are gonna open the space for Q&A and do a safe space for you. Thank you.